What's up, everybody? Badass here with a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Warzone loadout video. And before I get into the video, I just wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. Everyone, please stay safe, enjoy your time. For most people, this is the best time of the year. Relish it, and yeah, I wish the best for everyone. And I just did want to acknowledge the fact that I haven't put up videos for probably about 10 days, something like that. I was out of town on business, and then I got very sick, which I still am sick, still kind of fighting with it, whatever. But I'm kind of ready to at least bring you this video, kind of get back in the saddle and give you guys a couple loadouts. So you can smash a Warzone. Anyway, some of these you probably have seen. I know I'm a little bit behind the 8 ball with it, but in case you wanted to see my view or a little bit of a different view, you can go ahead and check it out and use these weapons as well. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and start off with the MWIII MK9. This is an aggressive LMG. Kind of almost feels like AR a little bit, but it's got a very fast fire rate, very consistent time to kill, and it really shines in just about every single range, to be honest with you, especially in those medium ranges. But we're going to go ahead and go over some of the attachments that we have. The sonic suppressor works very, very well for this weapon. It gives you damage, range, and bullet velocity advantages. Does hurt your recoil a tad, but the recoil on this weapon is, I would say, is minimal for LMG. And we can also mitigate that with a couple other attachments. But the really good thing about this suppressor, as you guys know, does not hurt your ADS speed, so I think it matches this weapon very well. We're not going to run a barrel on this. I think the range is plenty fine for this weapon, for the range that you should be shooting it at or using it at. And plus, we want to keep it kind of snappy as well. The MK.3 reflector is what I use for this weapon. I think most people probably use the Corio Eagle's Eye, but I think this really works well for this gun, to be honest. Like I said, it really shines in those medium ranges, and it's a really clean sight for this. If you're using the Eagle's Eye, I would definitely give this a try for this gun. It keeps it snappy, keeps it aggressive, makes the gun feel really, really nice. So yeah, definitely give this one a try, but this is subjective as always. The iron bar stock is the stock that I use for this weapon. It basically just gives you some speed advantages. The biggest speed advantage it gives you is the ADS speed movement, which is your strafe speed movement. And again, it's going to keep this gun feeling like an aggressive AR. So for the magazine, we're going to run the 60-round banana mag. This magazine obviously does cut down the amount of ammunition that you have available in the magazine, but it does help your ADS speed and all of your speed, your movement speeds, and things like that. So and also your reload speed as well. So it's going to give you, again, that AR feel on an LMG, which is absolutely fantastic because this thing does hit like a truck with a really good fire rate. The MWIII heavy support. Under barrel grip, we're going to go ahead and use that to mitigate some of those recoil penalties that we saw earlier. And this, it just gives this gun a really good recoil pattern. So it feels very, very smooth. Does hurt your ADS speed a tad, but we've already got some really good ADS speed advantages on this weapon. So build it like this, give it a try. It is aggressive, and it is very, very fun, and it is very effective. So we're going to go ahead and run the Lockwood 680 shotgun. You guys have probably seen a million videos on these. I posted one in multiplayer, and this is the same build. I think the same build translates very, very well to Warzone from multiplayer if you build it out like this. So I use the Crown Breaker choke. I have used it in the firing range. For me, it's the most consistent pellet spread. You can go ahead and give it a couple a try. I like this one personally to keep that pellet spread as tight as possible. The Lockwood long defender barrel. If you see my other video, this barrel gives you 10 shells as opposed to 6, and it also bumps the pellets from 6 pellets to 10 pellets, which gives you more damage and a more consistent damage as you're hitting the opponent with the shotgun, because it's all about the pellets. But anyway, so more than the range advantages and the disadvantages, this barrel really, really shines when it comes to, like I said, the pellets and the amount of shells. So I run the Point G3P04 laser on this weapon, and I run it mainly for the sprint to fire speed. Obviously it helps you with your hip fire, but that's why I run it. For shotguns, sprint to fire is king, and if you don't have that maximized, then you could be at a disadvantage in those CQB situations. Also, as we all know, you know, shotguns run a little bit funky anyway when you're kind of shooting with them and stuff anyway. But the sprint to fire, that's what that is. So getting this as snappy as possible will make this gun feel quick and smooth. A lot of people run, I think, this guard, the skeletonized guard, which really does help with your movement. But like I said, it doesn't do anything for your sprint to fire speed. It's not a bad attachment or anything like that. I just think that the other attachment kind of works with this weapon a little bit more. But give them both a try, see how you feel. Sawed-off mod. So basically, everyone knows that this is going to hurt your recoil. It's going to help you tremendously with your mobility, but you're only doing two or three shots most of the time with this gun, so the recoil doesn't come into play that much. It's not so crazy to where you can't get recentered pretty quickly. So definitely run the sawed-off mod. It's the best stock for this weapon. And the express light bolt, obviously, as you know, it's gonna be 2 or 3 shots, so you want those follow-up shots as quick as possible, especially when you're going against SMGs and things like that. So it really helps with your fire rate. It helps almost 80%, which is huge. Excuse me. So I don't think I've gone over this. So I run the same tactical lethal in the perk package most of the time. I run smoke grenades, Simtex grenades, for these tactical lethal, like most people do, because they are the best tactical lethal in the game. And for the perk package, I run, because I play a little bit more aggressive, I run double time, sleight of hand, quick fix, and high alert. But those are all subjective. If you're not sure what to run, you know the game very well, give this perk package a try. It's fantastic. So we're gonna go ahead and go on to the next loadout. It's another LMG loadout. Excuse me, but this is more of an typical LMG loadout. Though the gun is quick because of this Jack Annihilator bullpup kit. And that's going to give this kind of this angled kind of magazine to it. It's just going to help you with the reload speed and things like that. And like, you know, I believe it helps the ADS speed and stuff. So that's very important for this build. So go ahead and run the Jack Annihilator bullpup kit on this. And then for the other attachments, we're going to run the Spirit Fire suppressor. Now, I chose the Spirit Fire over the Sonic for this particular weapon because it does help you with your ranges, but it does give you some recoil advantages where the Sonic suppressor doesn't. This gun is a slower firing weapon, but it does hit harder. It's got more recoil, so we need to keep that in check as much as possible. Now, it does hurt your ADS speed a little bit, but with that Jack Annihilator bullpup conversion kit, we have a little bit of room to play with when it comes to the ADS speed on this weapon. Plus, it is an LMG, and you know, LMGs, yeah, you need to be snappy with it, but you know, obviously damage is king with the LMG. The Corio Eagle's Eye is fantastic for this weapon when it comes to those medium to long range where this gun thrives. It's probably the cleanest sight when it comes to those ranges. The Demo TL recoil grip, obviously for more recoil control, really makes this weapon feel good, gives it a nice smooth recoil, keeps those first few shots tight, which is what you want, that recoil gun kick, and it keeps the recoil consistent for easier use. So we're going to go ahead and run the CQB well, it's the Striker, but I call it the CQB Striker. Now, if you saw my previous video, I had a Striker build for a sniper support. Obviously, same weapon, different build. So this gun is going to thrive, I would say, 15 meters and shorter. It is a very quick, snappy SMG with a very consistent time to kill, a little bit of a slower fire rate, but once you get used to it, it feels excellent. So the suppressor I went with this was the Shadow Strike suppressor. Some of these pros and cons I didn't really think helped the weapon to where you know, to the ranges that it really thrives in. So I think just basically just keeping us off the mini map was the best idea for this weapon. So definitely run this Shadow Strike suppressor. Give the other ones a try if you want, but at the range we're using it in, this is fantastic. That's all you need. So again, we're going to run the Point G3P04 laser, and it's for the same advantages that you get for the shotgun. Obviously, in the CQB situations, you want that gun ready to use as soon as possible. And this laser gives us a nice bump to our sprint to fire speed, as well as hip fire spread as well, which is important in those close quarter situations. The MK.3 reflector is the cleanest short to medium range dot in the game, in my opinion. Obviously, that is subjective. I don't like the iron sights, but if you don't mind the iron sights and you want to go ahead and use them, I would probably run the underbarrel, the RK Edge. It just gives you more speed and it makes this gun really, really fast. So either run the reflector or run the hand stop. Either one is fine. The no stock is going to give us, oops. Let's see. The no stock is going to give us huge movement advantages. With some recoil penalties. That's why you want to keep this weapon within about 15 meters, but it still is a very smooth weapon with decent range for this build. But yeah, the no stock is going to help us keep that speed up, especially the ADS speed. This thing strafes really, really fast, which is great. So we're going to go ahead and run the 48 round mag. I think overall it's probably the best mag for this gun. When you're running trios, duos, solos, even 6v6, this is the best mag for the game. If you're running quads, you might want to try that 60 round, but the 48 round for the most part is the way to go. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. BASB, everyone knows it and loves this weapon. I'm gonna go through it pretty quick because we've seen this before. The Spirit Fire suppressor, again over the Sonic, just because of the recoil advantages that it has. That really helps this weapon because this is a heavy hitting battle rifle that is automatic and you need it to be as smooth as possible. The Bruin Venom Long Barrel, this is going to give us effective damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil advantages. It does not hurt our ADS speed, which is fantastic. The Eagle's Eye, again, same scope that we used on the LMG. It's the cleanest medium to short range scope in the game, which is where this gun thrives at. So this is the one to use. Obviously, like I said, this is subjective though, but give that one a try if you're not sure what to use. The Bruin Minuteman stock, again, we need as much recoil control on this weapon as possible. Like I said before, we need to keep those first few shots as tight as possible to keep the gun feeling consistent, and this stock definitely does that. And the 45 round mag, because it is the largest mag that you can get with this weapon. And as you saw, the previous striker build is what we're going to be matching with this. Now, this striker build is very good to match up with something like an LMG or like a battle rifle or AR, because those weapons thrive in medium to short, like more medium to long range. You really only kind of need this for short range and for like movement speed, things like that. But I do have a different striker build for the snipers, and we will get to that right now. So, the sniper build that I've kind of honed in on and I use is this. It's a little bit different than some people use. It's pretty much one attachment, but I'll show that to you. So the sonic suppressor we'll use for this weapon, it gives us a little bit more bullet velocity than the Spirit Fire, which a lot of people use. As you can see. So we get a 12.9% with the sonic suppressor at 1181.3 meters. And the bullet velocity with the Spirit Fire, you get 1125 meters a second. Now, the sonic suppressor does hurt your recoil a little bit, but you really don't ever notice it. But you do notice the bullet velocity. So I think this suppressor does match this weapon better. Plus, it does not give you any ADS hit. Spirit Fire does. So I think the sonic suppressor makes this gun feel as snappy as possible when it comes to the the suppressor that you could put on there. But anyway, so the Zang 34 barrel, this is the barrel everyone uses. It is the best barrel for this weapon. You're going to get huge damage range advantages and bullet velocity as well, with no ADS speed hit. Now, this is where I run it a little bit different. Excuse me. Most of the builds I've seen has put like the light stock on, but that light stock doesn't help you with your aim idle sway. So this laser, yeah, people could see it, but gives you an ADS advantages, sprint to fire speed advantages, and it really helps you with the idle sway. And if you even if you're quick scoping, no matter what you're doing, that is huge. The least amount that gun's swaying around, the more accurate you could be. So I actually like the FSS OLED laser. You can use a light stock to keep it snappier, but I think this is the better way to go in my opinion. But definitely give both of them a try. And I'll show you the I forget what stock it was. Let me see. I can tell you which one it is so you can try them. This is it, the rubberized stock. So as you can see, there is some recoil, hits to it. It doesn't help you with your sway. It only helps you with your movement speed and stuff, but you really shouldn't be running around with this in your hand anyway. So I would definitely go with the FSS OLED laser over this, in my opinion. But yeah, these three together make this gun feel real snappy. And then with this attachment, the quick bolt, again, those follow-up shots are huge. It gives you almost a 40% bump in your fire rate. Especially in Warzone when it's a 1 or 2 shot kill most of the time. Even if you do one shot them, you need to get that second one off before they kind of shuffle themselves around a corner or something like that. So this is absolutely imperative to have for this weapon, in my opinion, the light bolt. And then we're going to go ahead and run the spire point ammunition. Obviously this helps with your bullet velocity, damage range, and things like that. So these things combined, I think this is the best build for this weapon, and it makes it really, really effective. The best sniper, not even close. I think it's pretty much the only viable sniper, to be honest with you. But yeah, definitely give this build a try. So I made an entire video about this weapon, so if you haven't seen it, you can go check it out, or just kind of hang for a second. I'll explain it to you. If you want to see more in depth, check out the other video. But anyway, this is going to be built more like an AR. Obviously, it is an SMG, but this has a very good bullet velocity, extremely smooth, and it's got some really good range. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the way I have this built. And like I said, this is really good for sniper support, and I'll show you why. So we're going to run the sonic suppressor again. Does not hurt our ADS speed. Has a very, very small hit to our horizontal vehicle or vertical recoil control, but it's negligible, almost nothing. But it does really give you those effective damage range and bullet velocity advantages. So that's a great suppressor to run with this particular build. The Striker Recon long barrel, again, going to help with our damage range and bullet velocity. With the barrel and the suppressor, you get almost 700 meters a second. It is 700 meters a second when it comes to your bullet velocity. And that is in the AR range when it comes to bullet velocity. So you're going to get the speed of an SMG, snappiness of an SMG, along with, the range and bullet velocity of an AR. So that's why I think this is a really, really good sniper support. The MK.3 reflector for those medium to short range engagements. The Lockman series Recon stock. This is going to really, really help you with your recoil control, along with the recoil control that we have on this weapon and the bullet velocity. It's going to feel like an accurate AR, but you're going to be running around, like I said, like an SMG. So the biggest, I would say, hit to this weapon as opposed to regular SMG is going to be the strafe speed. But I think for the amount of accuracy that you get and the ranges you can use this in, I think it's a fair trade-off. But it feels really smooth with this on, so definitely give it a try. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I know I was. And then the 60-round mag, obviously, we need as much ammunition as possible. So this gun feels really, really good. I did take it out into the firing range in the last video. If you want to see it, check it out. If not, build it and at least give it a try. This gun's worth it. I think it's the best sniper support in the game that I've seen so far. So the next loadout, we don't need to spend a ton of time on this loadout. This is the MTZ Interceptor, which everyone uses. The gun was nerfed, but it still feels very, very similar. Basically what they did was they nerfed the headshot multiplier, so now you need 3 headshots or 1 headshot and 2 body shots like it did before. So basically, instead of getting a 2 headshots, you now need 3. But I mean, most of the time you're hitting 3 shots to down anyway, probably with one headshot mixed it with body shots. So it does not feel a ton different. This thing is fantastic. I hope they leave it like it is. I think it's balanced fairly well. I think it's definitely probably the best gun in the game, but I don't think it's so overpowered to where you can't counteract it. But this gun is really fun. It's fantastic. It does take sniper ammo. Just remember that. So we're going to go ahead and run the Spirit Fire Suppressor. I'm going to go through these pretty quick because you've probably seen them a million times. The MTZ Pro Long Shot Barrel, the Corio Eagle's Eye, the MCW Blackjack Stock, and the 20-round mag. So this is the basic build that everyone uses. It's fantastic. If you've never used it, jump on the train. So we're going to go ahead and pair that with the CQB Striker, or the Striker, I should say. I call it the CQB, but this is the CQB build of the Striker for your movement speed and your short-range engagements. So this is probably my newest build. I did have a build for this weapon in my very first Warzone video, and that was my it was my sniper support weapon. It is a very good sniper support weapon. It's just not quite as quick as the Striker when it comes to movement speed and things like that, getting around the map. But you can still, if you'd rather use an AR, definitely check out my first video. I think that might be the best AR sniper support build in the game. But anyway, this is built basically for medium range, aggressive build, maybe for Resurgence, Ashika Island, something like that. Even in the regular game is fine, but you're just not going to have the same range as most people. I think the ARs are a little weak in this game, but this is a very strong weapon, and if you use it right, you can use it at range, to be honest with you, and I'll show you why. So the Sonic Suppressor, again, we're going to go ahead and rock this on this weapon. I think it matches it perfectly. 0 hit to your ADS speed, it gives you some more range, and the best bullet velocity of the suppressors. We're going to go ahead and run this Precision Barrel, again, for more range advantages, and some more recoil control. As you can see, you have almost 1,000 meters a second bullet velocity. That's sniper range. Fantastic. Small hits to some of your handling, but we're going to go ahead and mitigate that with the FSS Olay V laser. Going to help your ADS and your sprint to fire speed to keep this weapon aggressive. MK.3 reflector. I think this reflector matches this gun very well for the ranges that it thrives in, but this is subjective. You can change it pretty much to whatever you want. And then the 60-round mag. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this in the firing range real quick, and I'll do my best to kind of show the features of this weapon. I did before, but I think we can kind of show it again. So you can go ahead and switch the fire rate to single fire or auto. So this weapon has a two-shot hyperburst. So if you see on the single fire, you're still shooting 2. So you can go ahead and you can do two-round bursts very fast with this weapon. As you can see, it kills very, very quickly. So this is the way I would probably use this weapon most of the time. If you're in short range, you could probably use the automatic. Medium range, maybe the automatic. It does not kill quite as fast, but it might be a little bit easier for most people to use. But I mean, as you can see, if you're bursting it, it's extremely accurate. And then we can sit here at range, excuse me, and kill very quick with it. So I would suggest using it on the quote-unquote single fire, which is going to give you the 2-bullet burst. But if it feels a little awkward at regular ranges, you can still kill very quickly with the automatic on. And you can even burst with the automatic on too. I think it's almost as effective. So they say it does more damage per bullet when you use it with the single load on. I don't really feel that a ton, but it could be, like, it could technically be a little bit more. But I would use this weapon like this if it's comfortable for you, because it is just absolutely accurate. And as you can see, it killed extremely quickly. So this might be one of the better guns in the game right now, to be honest. Is maybe a little bit of a sleeper that a lot of people aren't using. I have not been killed by this thing that I've ever seen. But this has been one of the best guns in my opinion in the game since day one. And there's multiple ways to use it. Like I said, you could even cut this down and use it as an SMG. This is one of the most versatile weapons in the game. So in my opinion, this is the best AR in Warzone. I don't think it's even close right now. Hopefully they kind of fix that with some buffs, not nerfs, with some buffs to the ARs, not nerf everything down to the ARs, bring the ARs up to the strong weapons. But anyway, that's a different discussion for a different day. And for this weapon, I think the shotgun works really well. You know, you're talking, you know, those medium ranges, and then you got the close range CQB. I think this would be a really good kind of like Vondel setup. I've actually used it on Vondel, had success, so it is a good Vondel setup. But yeah, please give this stuff, these loadouts a try. And if you enjoy them, please drop it in the comments. And if there's anything that you guys know of, that maybe people aren't talking about it, please drop it in the comments, and maybe I'll do a video on it and give you a shout out or whatever. But anyway, if y'all enjoy the video, please drop a like, and remember, if you want more, if you need more, to subscribe. Enjoy.